Hey everybody, I'm here today with a driving lesson on backing out of a parking spot. In this video driving lesson, I'll be going over the basic instructions for backing out of a parking spot safely, properly, and effectively. Without further ado, let's get right into the video driving tutorial. As you can see right here, I'm forward parked in a parking spot in an absolutely empty parking lot. And I recommend that when you're practicing backing out of a parking spot, you start off by doing it in an empty parking lot. This way, if you happen to make a mistake, you're not scratching a car or hitting a car or anything like that. You can make a mistake in an empty parking lot without causing any damage. All right, before we start, I'm going to buckle up my seatbelt just like that. And what we're going to do is I'm going to put my foot down on the brake. I'm going to put the car into reverse, make sure that my emergency brake is off, my parking brake is off, and then now we're gonna wait. Now, I always say that you should wait at least a few seconds after you put your car into reverse when you're backing out of a parking spot, because what that's gonna do is that's gonna put your reverse lights on, and then people are gonna be able to see those reverse lights and know that you are planning on reversing out of that parking spot or backing out of that parking spot. This means that people are gonna be more likely to actually give you a little bit of extra space. Okay, not everyone's gonna give you some extra space, but people will be more likely to maybe give you some extra space or some extra time to back out of that parking spot. Now, I left my reverse lights on for a long time now because I'm explaining it, but a few seconds is usually more than enough. Now, what you wanna do next is you wanna check your mirrors, okay? Check your blind spots, which are basically, just over your shoulder on either side. And also you want to turn your head completely around. Then you're going to start moving back slowly when it is safe to do so. So right now I'm going to start moving back slowly. And as you reverse, you are continually checking around the car. You're not just holding your head like this. You're continually checking your mirrors and looking all around the car, in front of the car, and behind the car. And what you want to do is you want to start off slowly and slightly turning your wheel to one direction or the other. And I'll tell you why you're not just going to crank the wheel to the right or to the left momentarily. But let's say I want to reverse out towards the right of the rear of the car. I'm going to start moving back. I'm going to just slightly turn my wheel to the right. And then once the front of my car has cleared the other cars that are potentially parked beside me, then I can safely turn the steering wheel all the way. Turn it all the way to the right, or whatever direction it is that you're going in, and then come to a complete stop, put the car in drive, and then you can proceed. So I'm going to turn the steering wheel towards the left and proceed, just like that. Very simple. Now, there is one step that I forgot to mention, and that is that you should be signaling in the direction that you are turning your steering wheel in. So I was turning my steering wheel to the right. I should have signaled to the right, okay? Very simple addition to what I had already explained. So once again, I'm forward parked in a parking spot. Now, let me tell you exactly why you shouldn't just turn your wheel all the way to the right and all the way to the left. And there is one more thing that I have to explain with the next demonstration for whether you turn your wheel to the right or to the left, an easy way to remember it. Now, let's say I was parked in this parking spot and there were cars parked on either side of me, to my right and to my left. When you are in reverse, when you are backing out of a parking spot and you turn your wheel, the front of your car is going to swing out in the opposite direction. So let's say I was backing out of this parking spot and I was turning my wheel to the right, okay? The front of my car would actually move towards my left. The more that you turn your wheel, the more that the front of the car is going to swing out. So if I'm in reverse and I turn my wheel all the way to the right and I reverse, the front of my car is swinging out to my left, right? I would scratch or scrape or dent or damage the car to my left. And you don't want to do that, obviously. So that's why you don't turn your wheel all the way to the right or the left when you're reversing. You wait until you are cleared past the cars on either side of you, then you can safely turn it. Once you know that the front of your car will not hit anything if it swings to the right or to the left, you can turn the wheel. Now, another thing, a lot of beginner drivers and even a lot of experienced drivers have trouble or have difficulty figuring out which way to turn the wheel when they're reversing. Do you turn it to the right or do you turn it to the left, right? So the easiest way to think about it is this. If you're looking at the front of the car, you're looking at the front of your car right now, but you're imagining that you're reversing. So I'm looking at the front, but I'm imagining in my head that I'm going backwards. If I turn my wheel to my right, the back of my car is going to go to my right. When I'm looking at the front of the car, the back of my wheel, the back of the car is going to go to my right. So if I'm reversing and I turn the wheel to the right, the back of the car is going to my right, right? As I'm looking at the front of the car. If I turn the wheel to the left, as I'm looking at the front of the car, the back of the car is going to head towards the left. When I'm looking at the front of the car. And once you've mastered that, then obviously you can still know what's going on as you're looking at the back of the car. But just look at the front of your car and imagine you turn the wheel to the right, and then the rear of your car is going to go to the right side when you're in reverse. Now, don't actually do that because you want to look all around as you're reversing, but imagine it, okay? Now, once again, I'm going to demonstrate it one more time, but it'll actually reverse to the left. So I'm going to go ahead and put the car in reverse. Once again, make sure your parking brake is off. Wait a few seconds. Let everybody know that you plan on reversing. It's also a good idea to make sure that your reverse lights are working properly. Very, very important in order for this to actually be effective. Now, my wheel is straight. I'm going to start moving back slowly while I check all around the car, and I've already done a quick check before this. Now I'm slightly turning my wheel to the left. As you can see, just slightly. Like we're talking about just a quarter of a turn of the wheel. Very slightly. And as I move back a little bit more, I'm going to maybe turn the wheel just a little bit more, right? And then now that my front of my car is past the imaginary cars that are beside me, I can just fully turn the wheel to the left and continue to reverse as I continue to look around and check my mirrors, come to a complete stop, put the car in drive, right? Once again, I'm sorry, I did forget to signal. It's an empty parking lot. It's my fault. I should have signaled, but make sure that you signal, right? Once you put the car in drive, turn the wheel to the opposite direction and move forward. Go ahead and check around and move forward. I'll demonstrate it one more time with the signal. So I'm going to park in this spot right here, okay? All right. So I'm parked. Let's do it a little bit faster now. Put the car in reverse. Give it a few seconds. I'm going to put my right signal on because I'm steering to the right. My right signal is on right now. I did not forget to do it this time. Now we're going to slowly move back, check all around as I slightly turn the wheel to the right, just slightly. I'm going to turn it a little bit more because I know that I can based on the swing of my front end of my car. Continue reversing. Crank that wheel now that I'm cleared past those imaginary cars. Put the car in drive, steer in the opposite direction, and you're good to go. And that's basically it. In this video, I've gone over a driving lesson for backing out of a parking spot. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video driving lesson. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.